Hello everyone, my dear listeners. How was your day? I'd love for you to leave a comment telling me which city you're listening from. We've passed 50 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who supports my channel. I'm sending you love. To those listening to my stories for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and like my video. And for tonight, here's another story about the dark web. This time, we're talking about how one young man's faith in God saved him from going astray on the dark web. Or did it? You'll find out if you stay with us until the end of the video. Enjoy. My name is Alex Mitchell, and before all this, I was just a regular 17-year-old trying to keep my mum happy. She'd been raising me alone since Dad died in Afghanistan when I was 12. The day 2 officers showed up at our door changed everything. Mum found comfort in religion. I found it in technology. Every evening after school, while Mum worked her second shift at the hospital, I'd sit at Dad's old desk, using the computer he'd built before deployment. It was my way of feeling close to him. I'd learned coding by watching tutorials, telling myself that maybe if I got good enough, I could make Mum's life easier someday, get a good tech job, make her proud, let her finally quit that extra shift. The kids at school called me the quiet genius, not because I was particularly smart, but because I rarely spoke up in class. It's hard to be outgoing when you're the kid who has to wear thrift store clothes and can't go to parties because your mum needs help with bills. But I didn't mind. I had my online friends, my coding projects, and every Sunday I'd go to church with Mum because seeing her smile during hymns made the week bearable. My one real friend at school was Emma. She sat next to me in computer science, sharing her lunch, when she noticed I sometimes skipped meals to save money. She never made me feel poor or different. Instead, she'd joke about how I was going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, and she was just befriending me early for the stock options. Life wasn't perfect, but it was okay. I had a plan. Graduate with good grades, get a scholarship, study computer science, and give Mom the life she deserved. She'd sacrificed everything for me after Dad died. The least I could do was make something of myself. Then came that message from Marcus. I barely knew Marcus. He was a new transfer student who kept to himself. But he'd noticed my coding skills during class projects, and sometimes we'd talk about encryption and internet security. He was different from my usual circle of friends, intense in a way that should have warned me. It was a Tuesday night when everything changed. Mom was working late again, and I was trying to fix a bug in my latest project. A budget app I was making to help her track expenses. My phone buzzed with a Discord notification. "Hey Alex," Marcus wrote. "I've seen how hard you work, how you struggle to help your mum. What if I told you there's a way to make things better? A community that helps people like us." I should have known better. Dad always said if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But when you're 17, desperate to change your family's fate, and someone offers you hope, well, sometimes the warnings in your head get drowned out by the dreams in your heart. I didn't know then that accepting Marcus's invitation would threaten everything I loved. I didn't know that my faith, the same faith that helped Mom survive Dad's death, would be the only thing standing between me and the darkness that waited in the depths of the internet. But I'm getting ahead of myself. let me tell you about the link that changed my life and the price I paid for clicking it. That night, after Marcus's message, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Mom, how tired she looked after double shifts, how her hands shook sometimes from exhaustion. The link Marcus sent sat in our Discord chat like a door waiting to be opened. It's called the Enlightened Community, he explained. They help people reach their potential. I've been part of it for a month now, and Alex, they're different. They actually care. I remembered how Marcus had changed recently. His clothes were newer, and he'd stopped bringing those sad lunches of just plain bread. When I'd asked about it, he'd just smiled mysteriously. "What kind of help?" I typed back. "They have members everywhere. Rich people, influential people. They mentor those who deserve it, but it's invitation only. I had to vouch for you." My finger hovered over the link. It was a .onion address, dark web. I'd studied enough about internet security to know what that meant. Dad's voice echoed in my memory. "Sometimes the most dangerous things look like helping hands, son." But then my phone buzzed with a text from Mom. "Working late again, honey. Left money for pizza in the drawer. Love you." I knew she'd been picking up extra night shifts. The electricity bill was higher than usual this month because of my late-night coding sessions. The guilt gnawed at me. I opened Tor browser, something I'd installed months ago out of pure technical curiosity, but never really used. The link Marcus sent required specific software, and as I followed his instructions to set up secure connections, a part of me felt proud of understanding the technical aspects. This wasn't some sketchy social media site. This required knowledge, felt exclusive. "Most people aren't ready for this level of truth," Marcus messaged. "But you're different, Alex. You understand systems, how things really work. They'll see that in you." The website loaded slowly, typical for Tor connections. Black background, elegant white text. No flashy graphics or obvious red flags. It looked professional. The welcome message seemed to speak directly to me. To those who carry burdens too heavy for their years. To those who sacrifice for others but find no reward. To those who seek true change. Welcome home. Below was a simple questionnaire. Not the usual social media stuff about favorite movies or relationship status. These were different. What drives you to seek more than the ordinary world offers? Who depends on you, and how far would you go to protect them? Do you believe in powers beyond the visible world? I thought of Mom, of Dad's memory, of all those nights trying to build something meaningful with code. My answers flowed naturally, honestly. With each response, I felt like I was finally telling someone who understood. When I finished, a new message appeared. "Your soul speaks truth. The family welcomes you, Alexander." A chat window opened, and a user called Guardian X wrote, "We've been watching you, Alex. Your dedication to your mother, your technical skills, your untapped potential. You're exactly who we've been looking for." They knew my name. They knew about Mom. I should have been scared. Instead, I felt chosen. The first week in the Enlightened Community felt like finding a missing piece of myself I never knew existed. Guardian X became my personal mentor, always online when I needed to talk. They knew exactly what to say, how to make me feel understood in a way even Emma couldn't. "Tell me about your father, Alex," Guardian X messaged one night. It was 2 a.m. and I'd just finished another coding session. Mom was working the night shift again. I hesitated. I rarely talked about Dad, but something about the anonymous connection made it easier. I told them about the wooden desk I was sitting at, Dad's desk, about how he taught me my first line of code when I was 10, about the last video call before his final mission. "Your father was a warrior," Guardian X replied. "He understood sacrifice, just like you do. But Alex, have you ever wondered if there's more to his death than they told you?" That message hit me like a punch to the gut. Of course I'd wondered. The official report said, routine mission. But Dad's letters had hinted at something bigger. The forum had different sections, each promising deeper knowledge. Unspoken truths, hidden powers, the real-world order. I started spending hours reading members' stories. They spoke about secret organizations controlling governments, about hidden knowledge that could change lives. Marcus was right. These people were different. When I mentioned Mom's struggling to pay bills, an anonymous member sent me detailed instructions for a coding project that could earn quick money. It worked. I made more in a week than I usually did in a month of freelance work. "See?" Guardian X messaged. "The family takes care of its own." But it wasn't just about money. They had me working on increasingly complex coding projects. Training, they called it. Each success earned me access to new forum sections, deeper truths. They praised my skills, told me I was special, chosen. Then came the trust-building exercises. "Every family needs absolute trust," Guardian X explained. "We need to know we can count on each other." The first test seemed innocent enough. They asked me to hack into my school's grading system. Not to change grades, just to prove I could. When I succeeded, the praise was intoxicating. "You're naturally gifted," they said, "but gifts require responsibility." The next test was harder. They wanted personal information about my classmates. Emails, social media passwords, banking details of their parents. I hesitated, but they had an answer for every doubt. "Think of it as protection," they said. "The world is darker than you know. We keep our members safe by knowing everything." I did it. God help me. I did it. I told myself it was just information gathering, that no one would get hurt. The family rewarded me with more lucrative coding projects, more secrets, more praise. But everything changed the night they invited me to a special chat room. 7 members, all with status names like Guardian X. On my screen appeared a video feed, grainy but clear enough. It showed a man tied to what looked like a modified electric chair. "This is Brother Simon," Guardian X wrote. "He betrayed the family, shared our secrets with outsiders. Now you must prove your loyalty." A button appeared on my screen. Simple HTML, a line of code I understood too well. They wanted me to execute him, literally. "He's not real," I typed desperately. "This is just another test. Everything is real here, Alex. Remember your father. Remember how the government lied? We are the only truth. Press the button. Join us fully." My hands shook as I stared at the screen. The man in the chair was crying, begging in a language I didn't understand. I thought about Dad, about truth, about family, about all the things they'd given me. Then I thought about Mom, about Sunday mornings in church, about "Thou shalt not kill." I closed the laptop. Within seconds, my phone exploded with notifications. Pictures of me sleeping, of Mom at the hospital, of Emma leaving school. "You disappoint us, Alex," Guardian X wrote. "The family protects its own, but we also punish those who betray us. You have 1 hour to return and complete your task." I hadn't just joined a community. I'd invited demons into my life, and now they were coming to collect. 3 days after I refused to press that button. 3 days of psychological torture. Constant messages, photos of me and Mom taken through our windows, recordings of our private conversations. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Every screen felt like a portal they could reach through. The white van appeared on Tuesday. I spotted it while walking home from school, its tinted windows reflecting the setting sun. When I quickened my pace, it pulled away smoothly, but I knew it would be back. They were just letting me know they could get me any time they wanted. That night, Mom had another late shift. I sat in my room jumping at every sound, the old wooden cross she'd given me clutched in my sweaty palm. Around midnight, my phone lit up with a message from Emma. "Alex, please help. Something's wrong. People outside my house." Minutes later, a photo. Emma tied to a chair, crying. My heart stopped. "Come to Sterling Woods. 1 hour, come alone." I grabbed my father's old hunting knife and my mother's cross. The woods were pitch black when I arrived. My phone died the moment I stepped past the tree line. Not a low battery. The screen just went black. "Brother Alex." Guardian X's voice came from behind a metallic mask shaped like a twisted angel. "You chose poorly." A cold laugh followed. "Did you really think we had your friend when you helped us gather personal information about your classmates weeks ago? You gave us access to Emma's phone. We used it to create those fake messages, to bring you here." They emerged from the darkness, 12 figures in black robes, wearing masks of metal and bone. They dragged me to a clearing I'd never seen before. An altar stood at its center, ancient stone carved with strange symbols. "Last chance, Alex," Guardian X whispered. "Renounce your God. Pledge yourself to older powers. We'll make you more than human." The chanting started. Low at first, then building. The air itself seemed to tear open above me, and something ancient stirred in that tear. "Never," I said, gripping my mother's cross. "I believe in God." The cross in my hand grew hot. I started praying to God. The cross grew warmer in my grip. My prayers became more urgent, desperate, as I squeezed my eyes shut against the darkness around me. The cross was now burning hot in my hand, but I wouldn't let go. Whether from the searing heat or something else, my head began to spin. The world tilted, darkness rushing in, and I lost consciousness. I woke up on the steps of my regular church. There was no trace of the family members anywhere. I wasn't even sure if it had all been just a dream. Father Michael was standing over me. "You're safe now," he said softly. "God saved me," I whispered, still dazed. "I prayed, and he answered." That's when I saw it, the cross in Father Michael's hand. Something dark and wet glistened on its surface, like fresh blood. I looked up at his face in horror. "Are you sure?" he asked, that demonic grin spreading wider. "That it was God who saved you?"